I don't know why we're still doing that thing where we play dumb and don't act like we know what terms are. Like, I know we changed things in the last 5 years and decided that we're gonna bring new meaning to words that have always meant something different. But half the world, more than 90% of the world, and specifically we're gonna talk about the country, 95% of the country, they're not falling for that BS anymore. We're kind of over it. We gave it up. We gave it up in 2024 when we decided to vote for Donald Trump on November 5th, regardless of your thoughts on the man. We gave up the wokeism, but yet people still want to act stupid. And Charlie Kirk's on a college campus talking to somebody who just doesn't know what they're doing, or what they're saying. And although it is entertaining as a viewer to watch this kind of stuff, it's embarrassing that it's reality in people's minds. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to Resist the Mainstream, because it ensures you YouTube that you're enjoying our videos, and in turn they will continually show up in your feed and they'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
All right, am I good? Perfect. All right, so basically, earlier you were talking to one of my lovely fellow students who had a beautiful rainbow top, and I love that. And you said...
Allow her to finish, please.
You said you need to be responsible for your own orgasms. Yes? Okay, with that being said, why is it that a lot of the times people with uteruses have to carry all the responsibility that comes with getting pregnant?
You mean women?
I think there are people... I didn't want to get into this topic.
You already did. I mean, can you be a man with a uterus?
Yes. I didn't want to have the gender discussion with you.
This is what they teach here, guys. I'm telling you.
I didn't want to have the gender versus sex discussion.
Well,
I wanted to have a discussion
yourself.
about
That's
abortion.
Fine. Okay, what is your contention?
Okay, so basically, why is it that people with uteruses have to carry all the responsibilities that come with having a pregnancy? Because this is true, but he just said you have to be responsible for your own orgasms.
The law is very clear that if the father abandons, they owe child support. So that's actually not clear.
Okay,
it's
but a lot of the
case.
time it's like, you know, there's like one-night stands. There's the cases of like
then
you just
stop
get
having
knocked up.
one-night stands. Like, you don't have to have sex. It's not like a thing you need to do.
You said you had sex, and now you have to live with the consequences.
Yes.
So both people should have to live with the consequences.
Yes, and here I am with this radical idea that all of humanity embraced for like 2,000 years, which the best way to live is to get married and then have sex.
But
I know
that
it's
is
against
not the reality of our society at this time, and we all know this.
Well, exactly. But what is there anything stopping you from doing that?
No.
Self-control is a virtue that every kid should re-embrace.
Still happens outside of marriages.
Yes.
And you were saying that because you have to be responsible for your own orgasms, does that not mean that a male or the person who contributes the sperm, okay, a biological male,
contributes the sperm? So we're no longer. No, she said male, but then she said now we're just sperm donors. That's what we are now.
I'm just saying.
You see how like the trans thing, just like you don't never know what to say. It's just so comical, but yeah.
So
it just proves that these people don't take this seriously. You don't take this seriously because you slipped up, like, because it's dumb. It's so dumb. Like, again, you can do whatever you want in your life, but you don't get to force me to subscribe to your crazy. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna like disrespect you. I'm gonna call you the name that you want to be called, but I'm not gonna call you something that you're not, because I'm not blind.
Person who is a biological male and contributes to that pregnancy, they don't have to live with those responsibilities just because they are not married. But that's not fair.
Yeah, that's nature.
But that's not fair, and you just said that you should be responsible for your own orgasms.
Okay, yeah, a lot in life is not fair. Women have to menstruate. I don't. Not fair. Okay? Also, there's things that men have to go through that women don't have to go through.
I'm saying that males should have to contribute just as much to a female's pregnancy if she is going to carry something.
Fair. Let me hold you to that standard then. Time out. Therefore, if a woman is going to have an abortion, is it 50% the man's decision?
If we hold males to this responsibility, I believe that they should, like, you know, at least be able to like have a say. But that is my personal opinion.
Like 10% or 20%?
I'm shocked that she started about today. You were about to be real inconsistent before Charlie said that. I was literally about to say that if you say that they're obligated because they impregnated somebody who wants to keep the baby, they have to help, give child support or whatever reason, or whatever thing you might believe that they have to be involved in the child's life, whatever, then that same courtesy should be directed towards a man who says, I don't want you to kill this baby. And she said that as her view, her own personal view, because she would never want to project that on all women because it's a woman's choice. Okay.
And It is a female's body, and they have the right to decide what they do with their body.
Okay, but to just to play that out, if the baby is a baby girl in there, doesn't that baby girl also have a right to decide to her own body?
We're still they can't even make decisions yet.
Exactly. So then isn't it best not to terminate them because they can't make decisions?
You're still not answering my question. How are we supposed to hold the person? Because you just said that pregnancy comes from two people, does it not? And you're supposed to be responsible for your own orgasm.
Yes, I know
correct?
how reproduction works. If your contention is that men should be held more accountable for impregnating women, yeah, of course, the law already reflects a lot of that. That's why child support decisions go 99% against men, okay? The law is way, way, way in the woman's favor. A lot of times it should be,
but
because
a lot of the times in one-night stands, that's just like simply like not the case.
Okay, so what is the contention then? Then we must make it easier for one-night stands? I mean, like,
I'm trying to say I don't think it's fair that like you are going out of your way to say that it's not okay that the person who has to carry that child.
But just understand how silly what you're saying. You're using the word fair, fair, fair. The utmost unfair thing is to...
You don't have to deal with the stigma.
No,
you don't have to deal with the bills.
Let me finish what I'm
you don't
saying.
Have to
Let me finish what I'm saying. The most unfair thing imaginable is eliminating a life from being able to live and flourish. That's the most unfair thing. Murder is the most unfair thing at all. I mean, definitionally, that's unfair. You eliminate a life from being able to flourish. That's unfair.
As a person with a uterus, if I did get pregnant, I would not want to carry said pregnancy.
As a person with a prostate?
And I don't have sex, and that's not anybody's business, but
let me just, again, I don't want to ask about people's personal lives. I'm not that interested in that.
I'm saying if I'm put in an unfortunate situation, and a lot of the times there's like, there's like borderline kind of like rape, like cases that does happen.
Less than half of 1% of all abortions are in that category.
You can say that, but also...
It's from the Guttmacher Institute, which is an abortion...
But what do we really know? Because a lot of the times, like, statistics, according to...
That's Planned Parenthood's own data, just so we're clear.
It wasn't Planned Parenthood,
It was the Guttmacher Institute, which is Planned Parenthood's research arm.
Okay, according to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, apparently about 1 in 5 women experiences
This is
rape.
complete garbage. Just so
It is not.
Want me to prove it to you?
How is it not?
If you guys... If 1 in 5 women experience sexual assault or
Yes.
then we would have the same levels of rape as the Congo. Okay? I want you to
Is that not possible? Like,
no, it's not just impossible. It's like pathologically insane to believe that 1 in 5 women, that we have third world levels of violence, sexual
so shouldn't
violence,
we be doing
and rape.
something about that then?
No,
like,
meaning that the report...
I fail to see how you're like, you're discrediting something instead of just acknowledging that it could genuinely be true. Like, two things can be true at once.
It's not even close to being, just so we're clear, it's like 1 in 5,000. It's not 1 in 5. Okay? No, the idea that 1 in 5 women are raped or sexually assaulted in this country has been so disproven. In fact, they say, well, let me prove it to you.
Because we have lots of stats. This is actually on the lower end. I've heard higher stats. This is on the lower end.
Let me prove it to you. If they say college campuses are rape culture because 1 in 4, 1 or 5 women get raped, if that's the case, why would women ever go to college campuses? Why would
Because they want an education?
No, hold on. It's more dangerous than going into the Democratic Republic of Congo. I mean, the point is that it's so materially insane to think that 1 in 5 American women will be raped in their life.
It is. I agree.
No, meaning that they're lying about being raped, that they're lying about being sexually assaulted.
You believe that people lie about being sexually... See,
all
this is
the time.
this feeds into what I was
all
saying.
The time.
This feeds into what I was
Brett
saying,
Kavanaugh
actually.
had 11 fake accusers. One guy...
People actually do lie about that, and it discredits and minimizes the people that actually go through that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Of course it happens. It happens all the time, I'm sure. Well, all the time, I don't know the exact statistics on that, but like that happens you know how many people have been accused for doing that and hadn't so many times, and it comes out years later that, oh, I lied because of XYZ reasons that don't make sense. That person should be locked up for lying. But like that happens all the time. It happens. A sexual assault happens, but lying about it happens a lot as well. And I feel like that's one of the two things can be true. But people lie about it all the time. Just because somebody tells you they went through something because they may have regretted it or because they may have felt pressured into it, which is not okay. Of course, you should never be pressuring anyone into anything. That doesn't mean that it was rape. Because if you agreed to it, it's not rape. And I don't even know if that's in a specific instance you may be talking about or whatever. But it's just, it's oh man. it sucks that we can't ever get the real numbers on this because people do lie. And then the people that it happens to, I know someone who's happened to, don't ever say anything. So, anyways, yeah.
11 fake accusers.
This feeds into what I was saying. Do you know why a lot of people probably don't report their sexual assaults and rapes?
Well, because there's a lot in the gray. There's a lot in the gray area. Alcohol's involved. It was consensual, and then it wasn't consensual. The girl
Consent
was.
can be removed at any time.
Okay. Again, now we're getting into murky gray area stuff, right? Where if you have two, like a fraternity guy and a sorority girl at age 19 hooking up, both 5 drinks in at 2 a.m., and all of a sudden she like removes consent. Yeah, like that's a murky middle gray area. And excuse me when I say.
She still removed consent, did she not?
Okay, but again,
if he continues to go onward with that encounter,
again,
then he is sexually assaulting her.
Again, that is such an unfair categorization. Like,
No,
again,
it's
it's very case dependent, but like almost every one of these cases involve a.
Well, technically, if she removes it while they're in the middle of something and he continues while she's saying no, that is sexual assault.
A lot of alcohol and a lot of forgetfulness and a
But
lot
what about
of
other ones that don't? Like,
and a lot of late
there's
reporting.
cases of marriage rape, and like people don't report those because of how much stigma there is. People don't. They don't want to.
I'm not doubting that rape happens. I'm contesting
But I'm
this
saying
ridiculous,
that
outrageous
if you
statistic.
should get pregnant from these cases, and you said you believe that people should be able to get abortions in
No, I
cases
don't.
of rape.
No, actually, I
yes,
said.
you did.
I said
yes,
let
you
me
did.
say. I said I actually don't believe that. I said let me, for the argument's sake, say that. But I actually don't believe that.
I thought you said that. You don't.
No, of course
You don't.
not. Because let me tell you
You
what.
would make somebody carry their rapist child.
If I have 2 ultrasounds, I have an ultrasound here of a baby conceived in rape, an ultrasound of a baby from a loving marriage. Which one is which? Which one is which?
Wait. You would make
Make the baby live. Yes.
You would make someone carry their rapist child.
Yes.
Do you know how insane that is?
Oh, you know what it's like? How it's saying? It's like, you know what? I would make it so I can't murder my cameraman. You know how insane that is?
That wasn't even a pregnancy that they consented to. That isn't even something they consented to in the first place, and you would make them carry that? It's not even like,
human rights are not dependent on the method of conception.
To their body.
Human rights are not human rights.
They have to carry that child, and they were violated in the first place. Do you know how insane that is?
And then you're going to do a third wrong because of 2 evils. When does that always morally defensible?
What if you don't want the child? And like,
just because you don't want a human being doesn't mean you get to murder that human being.
But your argument was based on don't have sex. You can't control if you are.
Again,
you can't control.
Can't move the goalpost, girl. He's literally saying, if you're responsible if you have sex. If both parties are responsible involved, and both parties should have a say. Well, you shouldn't ever murder a child, but they should have a say. If you're gonna say that a man is responsible for taking care of the child because he impregnated someone, then a man can have a say in wanting to keep the child if the woman doesn't want him. That's what the parallels were there. This is now you're moving the goalposts and talking about cases and whether or not to keep the baby or not. It's a whole other conversation. And you're trying to make an emotional argument how like you're gonna make her sit there and carry her baby. And that's sad to hear that happened to someone. Obviously that's horrific. I can't even imagine that. But then he brings a valid point as well. It's like, what do you mean? So you want a baby to die? You think it's okay that an innocent life is taken because of a horrible act that was enacted on this individual? There's no lack of empathy from me when it comes to this. I feel terrible for anyone that's ever experienced this. But just because you went through something horrible does not justify killing a child. And if you don't want to keep it, you can give it up for adoption. Carrying it for 9 months, yes, I understand that it's going to be wear and tear on the body, but like a child is the solution. I will never understand that. A child should never be the solution. And it's so concerning to me that people just dismiss that because of the emotional argument of what the woman has gone through, which is obviously terrible. I'm not trying to take away from that. I can't even imagine what it's like to go through something like that. But yeah, no, I don't think that warrants a justification for terminating a pregnancy, because that is a life being taken. A life, just like how I'm a life and like your life watching this, like that is a life being taken. I will never understand the normalization and desensitization to abortion in children. I don't get it. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to comment down your thoughts below. I want to know what you guys are thinking on this, because this is a very interesting topic. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.